So we see a very bright future for the sustainable packaging industry across the world. Food service has adopted the sustainable packaging. You go to a restaurant in they are using a sustainable packaging, whether it is a compostable or a reusable or recyclable. But food processing has not yet adopted the sustainable packaging. So we are creating some innovative solutions.
Welcome to Sustainability Leaders. I'm Michael Torrance, Chief Sustainability Officer at BMO. On this show, we will talk with leading sustainability practitioners from the corporate, investor, academic, and NGO communities to explore how this rapidly evolving field of sustainability is impacting global investment, business practices, and our world.
The views expressed here are those of the participants and not those of Bank of Montreal, its affiliates, or subsidiaries.
Hello, I'm Issam Majeed, Managing Director, Diversified Industries with BMO Corporate Finance. Today, I have the pleasure of being joined by Anil Abrol, founder and CEO of EcoGuardian. EcoGuardian has been helping lead the way in sustainable packaging for the last 20 years. The company is at the forefront of the fight against environmental degradation, specializing in organic and eco-friendly products designed to minimize waste and pollution. Anil, thank you for being here today.
Thank you very much for having me.
Can you start by giving our listeners an overview of EcoGuardian, why it was established and how it came to be?
Thank you very much. You're asking me a question, my journey of the last 20 years, how it was established. I'll take a step back and say who I am. Born and brought up in India, accountant by profession, making my way to the different countries while I was working. I was in Ireland in 1999 to 2004. At that time, Ireland was rated one of the most pollutant countries in the Western Europe. And the major pollution was coming from the single-use plastic bags. I saw a transition happening in Ireland and then in other Western Europe. Ireland has put a levy on the use of single-use plastic bags with 15 euro cents at that time. And I have seen a transition happening in a span of 1 year. More than 98% of the single-use plastic bags got eradicated from the Irish economy. And I witnessed that. I was using those bags. When I came to Canada in 2004, I saw North America is still using single-use plastic bags. And I was at a stage when I was trying to set up my own business. I had a long list of businesses which I wanted to do, but I wanted to make an impact. What I'm doing should have an impact on the economy and on the general public as a whole. So one day I was sitting in one of my friend's home office and saw a single-use plastic bag lying on the corner of my friend's home office. And I say, I found my business. So we are going to reduce the consumption of single-use plastic bags from North America. All the youngsters, teenagers, they said, great idea. And all the mature people said, you are crazy. North America is not going to adopt that. They are not going to bring the reusable shopping bags to the market because they are used to getting the plastic or the paper bags. And you see what happens today. After 20 years, there are so many countries, there are so many cities which has banned where we are banning the bags. So that is how this company was started. This was probably a vision to make a change. And we made a change. It was not easy. We started with some very large grocery chains, but it was very, very tough to get into some of the companies with a no man's company and with a totally new concept. But we started ground up, and within a span of 1.5 years, we had 100 customers from coast to coast selling the reusable shopping bags. So that is how it was started, and then everything has become a vision from a single-use plastic bags. So say this is, if everybody has 8 or 10 bags in their cars, then this is only going to be a replacement market. So that is how we started developing some new products in the field of compostable products, which we are very proud to say that EcoGuardian is the number one privately owned company in Canada, which is selling the products coast to coast.
Yeah, no, it's certainly a fantastic story for EcoGuardian. and great to hear your perspective. Now, let's take a step back and focus on the role of sustainable food packaging. Can you speak to the importance of the industry in an environmentally conscious society?
Yeah, very interesting question. Everybody hears the news how much total plastic we use. There are more than 300 million tons of plastics that produce each year, with a sustainable portion ending up in the oceans and landfill. 60% of the plastic goes in the food packaging. Once the composting facilities are developed, 100% of the products can be composted. There are lots of renewable resources, raw materials are available, such as the sugarcane waste, bamboo, which is a renewable crop. So, the role of sustainable packaging going forward is going to be big. There are definitely lots of challenges. There are a lot of new, more innovation in the sustainable packaging needs to happen, but the future is very bright. When we started bringing the sustainable packaging way back in 2008, 2009, industry was just adopting it. Everybody was listening to the stories, everybody was liking the products, but not many people were adopting it. Not many companies were accepting those products. Today, you see the trend. The styrofoam is non-existent in most of the food service places, and it is taken over by the compostable, sustainable packaging. We are working more and more now with the food processing industries because they are looking for a change. I'm very proud to say that EcoGuardian was the winner of the SOBI's Sustainable Packaging Award, which they were trying to find a replacement for their meat trays, which is at the moment they are using as the styrofoam. And they selected EcoGuardian because we have provided them a solution which is sustainable packaging. So that is the future of the sustainable packaging is more and more corporations are looking for reducing the carbon footprints and how their packaging can become more sustainable as compared to the plastic, especially those plastics which cannot be recycled.
Yes, absolutely. It's great to see how ingrained sustainable packaging has become in the corporate world and in society as a whole. How does EcoGuardian ensure the sustainability and integrity of its supply chain?
At the moment, all of our products are produced in Asia, and we bring the products from Asia to Canada and USA and service coast to coast. During the COVID time, there were some challenges on the supply chain, which whole world has faced, not only EcoGuardian. But to overcome the supply chain issues, we are looking very seriously on producing our own products here in the Canadian market very soon. So this is something we are working on for the last few years that will reduce the impact of some of the supply chain issues. But as far as I look at it, EcoGuardian and the supply chain, this is one of the toughest things which a company like us has to do. We monitor our inventory, we monitor our customers' inventory, we keep sufficient inventory in our warehouses and guide our customers how much inventory they need to keep it to make sure that there is no impact of the supply chain. So we work with large food processors, large retail stores, and once the product is not there on the retail stores shelves, they lose sales. So our fill rate is more than 99% for the last many years. So that speaks of how well the supply chain gets managed by EcoGuardian.
Yeah, supply chain is certainly something a lot of Canadian businesses and companies have had to grapple with in recent years, but it's great to hear that EcoGuardian has been able to navigate through those challenges successfully. How does EcoGuardian handle the end of life cycle of its products to ensure they are effectively composted or recycled?
Well, this is definitely one of the challenges. Everybody hears that only 4% or 5% of the plastic gets recycled. The composting is no different at the moment. There are not that many composting facilities are available, and whatever facilities are available at the moment, some of them do not accept the compostable products because there are different challenges. We are working through those challenges. We are working through the composting. We are attending composting conferences. We are understanding what the composting companies, their challenges are, and how they can accept all the products which industry is bringing. The challenges are it is very difficult to educate the consumer. How you educate a customer that a white product which is made of sugarcane is going to the green bin, and a white product made from the plastic is going to the recycling bin. So those type of educational challenges are difficult. So the materials of both the products has to be same. Consumer education is required, but slowly and surely consumers are demanding the sustainable products and packaging, and we are demanding from different authorities more and more products should get composted, and that is happening. There are more and more composting facilities are coming up. Canadian government is working, and there are other sectors which are working on the composting facilities. So I think it will take some time, maybe 3 to 5 years, if not more, to have a lot of composting facilities available in Canada which can accept all the sustainable products, so that whatever products they comes from the nature and goes back to the nature.
Now, changing gears a little bit, what role do partnerships play in advancing EcoGuardian's mission and expanding its impact?
Well, partnerships are very, very important, and that is what we do, and that is what we are proud of. We started a business with one of the healthcare customers way back in 2009, and we are partners since then. So we always had some challenges, but we come over those challenges, and those are the partnerships which we create. I was talking to one of my colleagues the other day that the factory with whom we started way back in 2005, we are still working with them. We are going strong. So that is what, whether it is our customer or whether it is our vendor partners. So we work very closely with them and we create very strong partnerships with them. We help the customers what their needs are. That is how the partnerships gets created. We do not go to our customers and say, here is a product and another Me Too company. What we do is we go to the customer and say, how can we make a difference in your sustainable initiatives? What your sustainable initiatives are? How can we design something for you? How can we re-engineer some of your packaging so that you reduce your number of SKUs, so that you save some cost, although you might be paying a little bit more for the sustainable packaging. But if you are changing your size of your packaging or reducing the cost somewhere else, not only for you, but even for the retailers, they are taking with a re-engineered package, you are taking a lesser space on the retailer's shelf. That helps. That is how we create the partnership. That is how we create the confidence, and we work with the customers and build our relationships and build our business with the customers or the vendors.
Now, getting into one of my favorite topics, what new products or innovations is EcoGuardian currently working on that listeners should be excited about?
Well, what makes Eco different from the competitors or in general, we always keep on looking at different product lines, how we can make a difference, what is not happened yet in the industry, and then keep on creating a solution for that particular industry or that particular market segment. So food service has adopted the sustainable packaging. You go to a restaurant, in 3 out of 5 restaurants, you will probably find they are using a sustainable packaging, whether it is a compostable or a reusable or recyclable. But food processing has not yet adopted the sustainable packaging. So we are creating some innovative solutions, working with some of the large food processors and creating the solutions for the food processing where the products can remain in our trays for 13 months when it is frozen. So those kind of packaging we are trying to create. We are creating a solution for the meat industry, and we are working on some of the other products which I will not be able to disclose it at this minute. So hopefully you will see in the marketplace and on some of the social media channels very soon.
Absolutely. Very much looking forward to and excited to seeing some of those products in the near future. That's actually a great transition to our last question here before we wrap. What is the vision for EcoGuardian moving forward and the future of sustainable food packaging?
Well, I will start the future of the sustainable food packaging. As I mentioned earlier, 10 years back, the industry was using styrofoam and the single use plastic, polystyrene, etc. Those things are getting banned by some of the cities, some of the countries. Definitely, we are seeing the styrofoam and single use polystyrene is not there in the system. So we see a very bright future for the sustainable packaging industry across the world. As far as EcoGuardian is concerned, as I mentioned, we claim ourselves to be the number one privately Canadian owned company. in the sustainable packaging field. We want to remain as number one in North America, and we want to expand our product portfolios either in the form of a distribution or in the form of the manufacturing to at least 20 countries in the next 5 years.
That's very exciting. Anil, thank you for being here today and sharing EcoGuardian's important story and mission. To learn more about EcoGuardian, you can visit their website at ecoguardian.com. That's ECOGUARDIAN.com. Until next time, thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for listening to Sustainability Leaders. This podcast is presented by BMO. You can find our show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcast player. Press the follow button if you want to get notified when new episodes are published. We value your input, so please leave a rating, review, and any feedback that you might have, or visit us at bmo.com/sustainability leaders. Our show and resources are produced with support from BMO's marketing team and Puddle Creative. Until next time, thanks for listening and have a great week.
For BMO disclosures, please visit bmocm.com/podcast/disclaimer.